painting the other side of the H.D. Lawrence Elementary School handball wall. This handball court, these handball courts, because it's two-sided one-ball handball courts, are on school property, not really parks property. That's why we had to ask some questions at the assessor's office. When I called them about 2 weeks ago, I called Holyoke City Hall just to get a confirmation and clarification on who's responsible for this property, who is, and so that we know who to talk to. Because we spoke to the Holyoke recreation director, but she wasn't sure if it was half parks, half school, what. So we got that straightened out. So it's really the school department. So we're just beautifying it, making it look better. We did the other side of the handball wall. The Holyoke Public Schools, the city of Holyoke, are planning to build a middle school on the other side of the ramp. This was a handicap ramp that was built probably in the early 2000s, and it took away a lot of running space on the sides, on my right side. So I remember playing here in 1996. I remember just hitting the ball with William when I was 8 months pregnant, and I don't recall that wall, that ramp that they built there.
I wasn't here because I was coming here in '97 playing, hitting the ball around. After the group that used to play here with me that used to live in that building, and they knocked it down or they moved out or whatever. Well, the fire after that went down, but they had moved or something, so they weren't playing. There was a group, I used to call it, so you Kermit, Sake on them, used to play here with them, because it was like their home court, you know what I mean? I played more on the flats, but I used to come here all the time too. Especially that I moved out of the flats, we lived up here.
Well, the ramp was built in 2000 something?
It could have been the late 90s, it could have been the late 90s, like maybe a couple years after, like maybe 98 or 99, or I think it was maybe in the early 2000s. You know what I mean? I think it was. Like when they knocked down, it almost happened at the same time. They knocked down the flats, and then this thing happened over here. I was like, what the heck? So we were relying on, the wooden courts at the high school. And then we had South Holyoke, but what the condition of that.
Oh yeah.
And get that after 20 years later, from the time it was built, to get a fence, so the ball doesn't go into the street. And even with that, you know what I mean? Obviously, we have a problem with the running space there. You can run on one side with, those steel benches, but you can run on one side. And then the other side doesn't have running, it has space, but it's grass. So you're running off the court. But with that, if we have the fence, you can still kind of use it. The fence makes it better, but it still doesn't fix it completely. We're going to see if we can get them to put a gate, so that way that closes off that entrance right there. That would be perfect. Not perfect, but it would be better at least. They should be able to get a gate. Because that's the entrance. That stops the ball from going in the street. Not all the time. It's going to go off sometimes.